Go according to plan.
Welcome to the Mossel Bay National Ports and DS Festival, incorporating round 5 of the South African National Formula One Powerboat Championship. Well, that was the plan, but because of huge swells and a gale force wind, the Formula One event had to be called off. The first time in the 20-year history of the sport in South Africa that this decision had to be made. But that allowed some of the other categories to get more attention than what they used to, like the National Ports Authority Mercury Development category, where youngsters from local previously disadvantaged communities faced powerboat racing for the first time. Selected from schools in the area, these kids had undergone a rigorous training period over the last 6 weeks to get them ready for the competition. The aim of the development program, which has been running for the last 6 years under the auspices of Powerboat South Africa, the national controlling body, is to find and nurture talent for the future. The youngsters earned the admiration of the spectators when they took to the white horse-strewn water in their 2-seater water mouse boats, powered by 15 horsepower Mercury engines. It was a case of Viva Girls, with the ladies grabbing the 2 top positions in the first group, which saw 3 different winners in each race. 15-year-old Mandy Carol Tritter, a student of Sauerbraus Secondary School, was the first overall out of their 3 8-lap races with a second, first and third placing, followed by 13-year-old Stacey Lee Hunis of Hillcrest Secondary, who won the first race. Latino Joseph, who is also 13 and won the final race, finished 3rd overall. The second powerboat development group was dominated by 13-year-old Gillian Joseph of the Hillcrest Secondary School, who took the first 2 races and came second in the final race to 14-year-old Reno Mohammed, also of Hillcrest, who had flipped during his practice session but returned to his boat undeterred and determined. 14-year-old Sean Wickham from the same school was 3rd overall with 3 third placings. Confirmation of the results. Group A won by Mandy Carol Tritter, with Gillian Joseph taking it in Group B. The port of Mossel Bay on South Africa's southern coast had been converted into a thrilling festival ground for the National Ports Authority and DIA's 2002 celebrations, with activities for old and young, the adventurous and the sports-minded on offer. The crowd were naturally disappointed at not seeing the Formula One pilots race, although they were treated with a demonstration. But the air and sea displays, stalls, boxing and basketball games, music and lots more than made up for the disappointment caused by the conditions. Next in the water, the Formula 500 category, which is another step in the progress to Formula One. The field was relatively small, so the 3 pilots in the standard class joined the 2 in the modified class for the event. The 5 pilots were all from Cape Town, some 500 kilometers to the west of Mossel Bay. And it was also a bit of a family affair. In the standard class, cousins Zach and Marinda Blazik took each other on, while in the modified class, the competition was between 2 brothers, Chase and Aiden Erdson. No surprise as the 2 modified boats went into the lead, with Chase Ernson in the number 1 boat heading his brother. The hulls of these boats have been designed to handle rough water, so they were coming into their own, and the pilots who have all come through the junior category were showing admirable control and racecraft in the very difficult conditions. A great battle had also developed between the 3 standard class boats as Markavella led Zach and Marinda Blazik. At the front of the field, Chase Ernson was pulling well clear of the opposition, but he couldn't afford for a moment to lose concentration, as the waves caused not only by the strong winds, but also by the weights of the other boats could so easily cause a mistake. Although the 2 classes were racing together, they would score separately. And in the standard class, Markavella was holding the 2 cousins at arm's length. But a good victory for Chase Ernson, who beat his brother into 2nd place in the modified category, with Markavella coming through to take the victory from Zach and Marinda Blazik. What would a festival be without live music? And of that, there was plenty at the National Ports Authority Pia's 2002 festival, with local groups from all over South Africa providing on-land entertainment. A lot to do, a lot to see, eat and drink as the crowd got ready for some more action on the water. In the absence of the Formula 1 boats, the newly introduced Formula 30 category took center stage of the day. And after a few demonstration races, the Formula 1 lookalike boats made their official debut here in Mossel Bay. Powered by 30 horsepower engines, this category neatly fills the gap between the junior classes and Formula 3, which is the final step before the super fast 200 horsepower Formula 1 category to which most pilots aspire. Taking the early lead in the first of 3 8-lap heats was 15-year-old Alex Reeby of Team PBA Marine Riff Raff Clothing, chased by Sershin Nambia, who's 13 years old and comes from Glen Vista. 13-year-old Ross Lazarus in the Lazarus Motor Company colours almost came short as he went for third position, but he wasn't phased and set off in hot pursuit of Pierre Theron, who's 15 years old and drives for Team Delta Marine Emerald Casino. Unfortunately for him, race leader Alex Reeby slowed down with the problem, allowing Sershin Nambia to go through and take the lead, while the battle for third continued between Pierre Theron and Ross Lazarus. Sershin goes past Alex and into the lead, and now the question was, would Alex be able to hold off those two who are fighting for third? These boats can reach speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour in good conditions, and it's a great training ground for youngsters to learn to control a catamaran design. The Formula 30 category caters for pilots between 12 and 18, and from here they can progress to Formula 3 before getting into Formula 1. Ross Lazarus took advantage of a mishap earlier from Pierre Theron and had moved from third to second when he passed the ailing Alex Reeby. Now his sights were firmly set on race leader Sershin Nambia, but he was running out of time. On the final lap, and Sershin Nambia headed for the checkered flag to take his first official victory in Formula 30 racing. Behind him is Ross Lazarus, who just wasn't able to close the gap before the end of the race. So Sershin takes it from Ross and Alex, with Pierre Theron not finishing the race.
Back with that after the break, plus an unusual bikes and bikini event from Italy. Don't go away.
The start of the second heat in the Formula 30 class, and immediately Alex Reeby in the RBA Marine Riff Raff Clothing boat jumped into the lead. He had an engine problem in the previous race, which is why he slowed down so dramatically. But that had been sorted out, and now he's flying with Sershin Nambia in the Heritage Racing boat in second. Ross Lazarus in the Lazarus Motor Company colours in third, ahead of Pierre Theron in the colours of Team Delta Marine Emerald Casino. These boats have been designed by Powerboat South Africa, the national controlling body, and they rent them out to the kids for just R1 per season. So really it's just a token amount in an effort to draw bigger fields. As we said earlier, this is the official debut event for these Formula 30 boats, and the pilots come from the junior category, where youngsters from between 8 and 12 race in little monohulls. 14-year-old Ross Lazarus has been racing for the last 2 or 3 years. His father Colin owns one of the largest car dealerships in the country and has been involved in power sport for a long time. Clearly, the youngster is enjoying himself, and it's a matter of extreme pride to his family to have seen him improve over the years. Alex Reeby's father, Paul, has been competing at Formula 1 for a number of years, and Reeby Jr. clearly has inherited some of the old man's skills. In the few races held so far to introduce the new class, Alex has been the dominating force. And here, comfortably in the lead, he's doing just exactly what he needs to negate that third place he got in the previous heat. Sershin Nambia is still in a solid second position ahead of Ross Lazarus, and then Pierre Theron, who's certainly not had one of his better racing days. That's the gap between first and second, and one could see how closely matched these young pilots were, even though they had to contend with the roughest conditions of their short careers. Ross Lazarus and Pierre Theron also held station and passed the checkered flag in that order. There's confirmation: Alex Reeby from Sershin Nambia, Ross Lazarus and Pierre Theron. And the day results with Alex getting the overall victory after winning the third heat too.
Now for an aquabike event that's